You may be a new shooter, a longtime gun owner, or even a police officer or soldier. No personal defense handgun is fully equipped without a Crimson Trace laser sight or light. Get the confidence and reliability you need to protect family, home, and country. Call 800-442-2406 or visit crimsontrace.com for a free copy of our new laser training video, The Laser's Edge, Crimson Trace.
Today on Gun Talk, Tom visits with Chris Cheng, the winner of Season 4 of the History Channel's Top Shot Show. Then we get real stories from a backcountry lawman. XS Sights joins us to announce a new giveaway, and Tom will have the latest in the gun rights battles, as well as the guns and ammo you're looking for, and your questions and comments. Call 866-TALK-GUN to join Tom on the air. Now, here's Tom Gresham and Lock and Load.
Oh, yeah, we're going to be talking about guns. I guarantee. That's what we say down here in the South. I guarantee we're going to be talking about guns and ammo and scopes and slings and anything that goes bang. No, we don't talk about the things that go twang. That's for the bow hunter guys. Hey, welcome. I'm Tom Gresham. Glad that you could join us. A lot of things going on. In fact, the last 5 minutes before the show starts, we're sitting here and the guys in the studio, we're all talking about where can I find ammo. Same thing we're talking about on the air. Exactly. So I said, well, I just found some 22 mag. One said, oh, man, I got to find some 22 mag. So there we are. And we're all searching for the same thing, right? Just and driving the prices up while we're at it. A lot of things going on. We will touch on a lot of things as we go through the next 3 hours. Glad that you're with us. Yes, I know that there's some kind of sporting event going on, but not now. You can still talk about guns for a while. And if there's something on your mind, this is going to be a really good day for you to get in. Sometimes you can't get through on the lines. Today, I think you will be able to. 866-825-5486. Easier, frankly, if you just do it this way. Dial 1 and then Tom Talk Gun, and that will get you in here. We are going to be talking about the micro-stamping deal out in California that has grabbed a lot of media attention, especially as a result of Mike Pfeiffer from Ruger being on the radio show with me last week and saying that his prediction is that in 2 years there will be no semi-automatic firearms for sale in California. None of them will be on the official roster. Here's a thought for you. You see, in California, there's a list of approved guns. They have to be submitted, the state has to look at them, and then these handguns have to be approved for sale, and no other guns can be sold. What would be the reaction if California had a list of approved books and no other books could be sold? But we have the First Amendment. Yes, and we have the Second Amendment, and the two are exactly the same. A list of banned books, a list of banned guns. I see no difference. Do you? Have you ever thought of explaining it to your friends that way? It's very interesting when you put the two together, First Amendment and Second Amendment, and talk to people. It's like at first they completely reject it. And if you just keep talking sensibly to them, they'll finally get it. They say, well, that actually makes some sense. And say, look, anything you can do to the Second Amendment, you can do to the First Amendment. So if you're okay with having a list of government-approved guns, then you better be okay with a list of government-approved books and websites and places where you can have conversations. Oh, wait, we already have that, don't we? We have so-called free speech zones on campuses. We have areas where protesters can protest, but you can't protest over here because that's too close to the thing that you're protesting when there's a politician around. So we have free speech zones. Really? That means the rest of the country is not a free speech zone? Huh. Well, we'll get back to that in just a little bit. If you're a gunny, if you like guns, if you like to see people shoot guns, I guarantee you have heard of and probably watched the History Channel show Top Shots. It is fascinating. They do a great job with it. Lots of really good production. As a guy who's been producing television about guns, about shooting for more than 20 years, I can tell you they do a really good job with it. We're joined right now with one of the guys who's actually been a winner on Top Shots. Chris Cheng was the winner of Season 4. Chris, thank you for joining us.
Hey, Tom. Yeah, thanks for having me.
Absolutely. So you doing any shooting these days? As if I don't know.
Yeah, my full-time job is basically firearms and enjoying the shooting sports. And I've been hunting a bit over the past 2 weeks. Got some duck and some geese and some pheasant, and some of those birds are going to end up as Super Bowl treats for a party I'm going to in a few hours.
Outstanding. So, how did you get started in all this?
My father, he was in the U.S. Navy, and he was a navigator in Vietnam, and part of his military training was very light firearms instruction.
Right.
And after he left the service, and he got a few handguns, and he taught me how to shoot when I was 6 years old. But growing up in Southern California, where there isn't a very strong gun culture, in Orange County specifically, where I grew up. We only shot maybe once every 3 or 4 years. The guns would come out for maybe an hour or two, run a lane at the range, and then, they get that put back in the safe, and I don't see them again for another 3-4 years. And I really have to credit Top Shot for getting me more involved in shooting. And I remember watching the AR-15 episode, and I was like, okay, that was a really cool challenge. Like, I'm going to go out and get myself an AR-15.
Really? So you really weren't... I mean, I kind of thought anybody that's going to be a winner at Top Shots has been shooting avidly for many years. It sounds to me like you only really got serious about it a few years before you won.
Yeah, I really only got into guns about 3 years ago, which is right when Top Shot started. Started airing in season 1, and I don't have any law enforcement or military or any formal experience. Well, at least prior to the show. And,
right.
When I was training, so I was working full-time at Google at the time, and I was training about 20 to 25 hours a week for 5 months during the whole audition process, and tried to learn as much as I could about firearms, about the fundamentals of marksmanship, and just try and have a lot of fun. I mean, I'm a self-taught amateur, now gone pro, and for someone like me at the time, to go on a show like Top Shot and shoot these incredible weapons and these incredible challenges was just something unique that I don't know if I'll ever have an opportunity to do that again.
Give us, for folks who are fans of the show, give us the behind-the-scenes deal. Start off with the audition process when you apply, and then you have to go through. Talk us through what you have to do to actually get on the show.
Sure, yeah. So, in brief, there is a paper application online. You download, the file, and you have all sorts of questions like, tell me your background in firearms and your experience. Do you have any awards or accolades in the shooting sports? And I got nervous at that part because I put none. It's my
got
answer,
nothing.
to that question. And they ask, why do you think you'd be a good competitor? Why do you want to win Top Shot? And then after you submit your application along with a YouTube video of yourself, kind of, talking about your interest in competing, they do a series of phone interviews, right, with a select group of that pool. And then there's another cut. And then the top 50 people get flown to L.A. for a live audition, live shooting competition, panel interviews, psychological and medical, screening, and then from there, the top in my season it was the top 18 got chosen, and then we believe there were 2 alternates.
Okay. Before you got on Top Shot, were you an athlete? Had you done other competitive sports?
So, when I was growing up, I played a lot of baseball and some, golf on the side. And, in this, so I'm coming out with a book in July called Shoot to Win. And part of what I talk about in the book, it's a book targeted towards the beginning marksman.
Okay.
And I'm really excited to get new shooters into the fold and hopefully talk about marksmanship in a way that's a little bit different than some of the other marksmanship books out there.
Yeah.
And so in my book, I talk about my background in baseball and being a musician also. And one of the big things that I relied on in Top Shot was thinking about how I learned to swing a bat, throw a ball, play scales on my double bass, etc. And it's all about creating a framework and building muscle memory, right, around, okay, what are the motions that my body needs to do to make this thing work?
Okay.
And, on Top Shot, for anyone who watches the show, it's all about adapting as quickly as possible to this unfamiliar weapon and this unfamiliar, challenge scenario. And so, for me, it was about trying to just simplify the weapon platform into a framework and then just building in that muscle memory as quickly as possible.
Well, what's the name of the book?
It's called Shoot to Win.
Okay.
And, I'll be coming out in July, and, I'll be doing a book tour, and I'm a sponsored shooter with Bass Pro Shops, so hoping to, do a few store appearances for book signings and whatnot. So, I'll definitely be letting everyone know when that happens.
Okay, and you got another TV project going, I gather.
Yeah, so, that's been one of the real fun things I think about, my career at this point. I quit my job at Google a year and a half ago after winning Top Shot, and the $100,000, cash prize that came with it. And
right.
I've just been having a ball exploring all sorts of fun things in the shooting community. And so, I've got this TV show that's in development. Since, we're in the talking stages of things, I can't talk too much about it, but at a high level, we want it to be a show about the diversity and the fun parts of the shooting community, and show that people who support the Second Amendment come from all across the country, all sorts of backgrounds, and really the main message is that the Second Amendment is for everyone. So I'm really excited to, hopefully get the show up off the ground, and, maybe we'll see it later this year.
That sounds outstanding. The whole idea of normalizing it to where people don't even pay attention. They just go, yeah, okay, you're a shooter, cool, that'll work. Chris, look, I wish you tons of luck with the book, with the show. Keep us posted. When the book comes out, let's get you back on. We can talk about it, okay?
Fantastic. Yeah, I'd love to come back, and thanks again for having me.
Absolutely. So thank you so much. Chris Cheng, winner of the Season 4 of Top Shot on History Channel. All right, open lines. 866-TALK-GUN. We'll get you in here. 866-TALK-GUN. Talk about micro-stamping. Talk about the guns you like. Are you finding ammo easier to get now? And have you found any 22 ammo? I was able to scrounge up a supply for 22 Magnum. Oh, and there's a recall on some of the 22 rimfire. Ha, ha. Here's the question. If you had some of it, would you send it back in? 866-TALK-GUN.
In the war on terror, fighting crime in the streets, in competition and homes around the world, one name in firearms stands out: Sig Sauer. Our pistols and rifles are renowned for their unfailing performance. This same commitment to excellence can be found in our line of SigTac accessories and the training offered by the Sig Sauer Academy. For unmatched quality, reliability, and innovation when it counts, choose Sig Sauer. Visit sigsauer.com today.
From day's first light till night's last glimmer, your satisfaction is our responsibility. On the range or in the field of duty, you can rely on Brownell's lifetime guaranteed gun parts, tools, and supplies. Anytime, any place. It's how we've done business since 1939. Brownell's.
The Ruger American Rimfire Rifle combines features of the Ruger American Rifle and innovations of the 1022 Rimfire Rifle to appeal to all bolt-action enthusiasts. It features a modular stock system that provides comb height options for scope or iron sight use, a power bedding integral bedding block system for outstanding accuracy, a Ruger Marksman adjustable trigger, and a 1022 style rotary magazine for reliable feeding. The Ruger American Rimfire Rifle, another rugged, reliable firearm from Ruger.
Hi, I'm Tom Gresham. For more than 40 years, I've been watching an environmental disaster in my backyard, and it actually impacts all sportsmen in America. I'm talking about the massive loss of land on the Louisiana coastline. The U.S. Geological Survey said the swamps and marshes of coastal Louisiana are among the nation's most fragile and valuable wetlands. That land is disappearing. The Mississippi River Delta hosts as many as 10 million ducks and geese every winter. These are birds which migrate northward through the states, all the way to Canada. The wetlands of the Delta support some of America's best fresh and saltwater fishing. And here's the deal. The wetlands of the Mississippi River Delta are disappearing at a rate of 1 football field every hour. 1 football field every hour. Gone. We can reconnect the river with its wetlands and restore the Delta, but we need your help. Please visit vanishingparadise.org. That's vanishingparadise.org.
Since 1997, Access Sights have been helping good guys take care of bad situations. The industry leader in gunfighter sights for pistols, shotguns, and rifles, Access Sights are the upgraded solution to your defensive firearms. Learn more about Access Sights and purchase them at accesssights.com. You can also order your new gun with Access Sights already installed from companies such as Smith & Wesson, Ruger, Remington, Mossberg, and Marlin. If you need a gun, you need Access Sights.
Be sure and register for the Access Sights Love at Front Sight giveaway. Grand prize winner gets a Remington 870 Tactical Express Shotgun with XS front and rear sights, custom lasered with the XS Sight and Gun Talk logos. 10 winners will win an XS Sights Good Guys swag bag, complete with a $200 gift certificate to put toward a pair of XS Sights. Enter to win right now at guntalk.com/win through February 28th. Good luck, and now back to Tom.
Well, let's see. If you had a strong stomach, you sat through the entire State of the Union address by President Obama. If you didn't, well, actually my prediction came true. It was almost exactly what I said would happen. Before the State of the Union address, I said, here's the thing. If he talks about guns at all, it will be a bump and run. He will touch it, and then he will run away from it as fast as he can. He's a politician. He got beaten so badly last year. He put the entire weight, the entire stature, he put basically his credibility, such as it was, behind the push for expanded, comprehensive, universal, pick your term, background checks, thinking he could certainly shove this through Congress. It got defeated soundly, trashed, and he frankly couldn't believe it. His people couldn't believe it. So he looked at this and said, I think maybe I just learned what Democrats have been saying for about 10 years, is this is a totally losing issue for us. So at the State of the Union address, you kind of, if you went out to get a sandwich or do a bathroom break, you could have missed it. It was 2 sentences about guns, 2. Basically saying that we have to do more to stop violence. And then he throws in, kind of which was his recurring theme, because of course he is the emperor as opposed to the president, which means that whole thing about working with Congress, advising consent, discussing, debating, come to a consensus, the will of the people, what they want, that is so darn cumbersome. When all you have to do is sign an executive order. It was back in Bill Clinton's reign, actually in the first days of it, Paul Begala, now a political commentator who was working for the Clinton administration, talking about the ability to do executive orders. He says, stroke of the pen, law of the land. Pretty cool. And so we have President Obama saying, I will do this with or without Congress. Now, there are a lot of things he can't do, but there are certainly some things he can do. So that's kind of where we are. On the federal level, I don't think we're going to see much happening. He may do a couple of things, but they can't do a whole lot with the executive orders or executive actions. The action is in the states. That's where it's happening, which leads us, of course, to California with microstamping. Microstamping, let me catch you up in case you didn't know. It is a proposed technology. It doesn't actually exist yet, although it's required in California. So all new handguns that are put on their list of approved, actually they call it the not unsafe handgun list. They won't call them safe handguns. So they say these are approved as not unsafe. Yeah, I know, it's Orwellian. So to get on the list, you have to meet some criteria, and now you have to have micro stamping so that the firing pin and the breech face are laser engraved so that a cartridge case that's ejected from this semi-auto that lands on the ground has identifying marks that can be traced back to the owner of that gun. That's the theory. The cops don't want it because they know it's not going to help them. I mean, they get that. I mean, there's sure there are some political appointees, some politicians with badges that I call them, police chiefs who say this is a good thing, but only because they're being told to do that by their mayors. Now California requires this. Smith & Wesson and Ruger have said it's impossible. It doesn't exist. The technology is not there. It is impossible to make guns this way. We can't do it. To which California responds, so? Then you're just not going to have any guns on the list. And Mike Pfeiffer, the CEO of Ruger, said last week on Gun Talk Radio, this will mean that in 2 years there will be zero, no semi-automatics on the list of approved guns for sale in California. In essence, of course, what that is a gun ban. Always was planned to be a gun ban, is a gun ban, will be a gun ban. That's what microstamping is. And other states are looking at it. So why am I talking about California? Because it's coming to a state near you. There is somebody in your state right now. There is somebody in your state legislature right now planning to introduce a bill that will require microstamping. How do I know this? Because the guys who invented this technology have gone from state to state to state to state to state to state in the legislatures lining up people to introduce these bills. It's coming, and you better get informed on it, and you better be ready for it because it sounds oh so tempting and oh so good and oh so logical and oh it would help law enforcement. Which gets me to one of my pet peeves. You know what? It's not our job to make law enforcement easier when it costs us our rights. Warrantless searches are a great example. No-knock searches, warrants. When they say, we're going to do this because law enforcement needs it because it makes their job easier, I usually think, well, that's probably going to make life harder for the rest of us who like the Fourth Amendment and the Second Amendment and the First Amendment. Microstamping coming to your state. I guarantee you it will be discussed in your legislature. If you don't get informed on this, you should. 866-TALK-GUN. What's on your mind? A gun you want to buy? I can help.
Have you taken your family, friends, and kids shooting lately? You're listening to Tom Gresham's Gun Talk, and we'll be right back. Want to be a guest on the show? Drop us a line at info@guntalk.com. You're listening to Gun Talk with Tom Gresham.
All right, welcome back. 866-TALK-GUN will get you in here. That's 866-825-5486. If you'd like to shoot me an email, tom@guntalk.com. Hey, we're giving away stuff. We're going to have a cool giveaway. We're actually going to announce it formally in a couple of hours, but just to let you know if you want to be the first one to get in. You can go to guntalk.com/win and enter for a chance to win a cool prize package from Excess Sights. We'll have more information on that in the third hour of Gun Talk. Had a caller couldn't stay on the line asking about the 327 Federal Magnum cartridge. It was chambered in a number of different revolvers. I don't know of anybody who's currently chambering the 327. It was one of those, it's a good idea, but nobody wanted it kind of a thing. So I would steer away from it, frankly. If I were looking for a small revolver, I would just get a 38. There are just a gazillion of really good 38s from a whole bunch of different makers out there. So that's where I would head. So just my thinking on it. If you hey, look, if you got a 327 Magnum and you want to give me your report on it, by all means, give me a holler. I'd like to know how it performs for you and what you think. And are you still able to get ammo for it? That's the other part of it. Line 2, Tom's with us out of Houston, Texas. Hello, Tom. You're on Gun Talk.
Well, how to do?
Hello. How can we help you?
I enjoy your show, but I don't enjoy having to listen to it delayed. But I'll get what I can take, right?
I hear you. I appreciate you calling in. What's going on?
Well, I am wanting to give me a 9mm pistol, a semi-auto.
Okay.
And one of our big box stores down here has a Smith & Wesson SVDE, I believe it is, for $290.
Okay.
And I went in and looked at it, and this retailer does not allow the trigger to be open. And one of the things I read online was the trigger is insufficient, and I wanted to feel it, and I could not do that. But the guy behind the counter admitted that yes, the trigger is a problem on this one, but he said for $5 to $15 you can get a kit put on it, and you're good to go. But he mentioned also one that I'm not familiar with, but I'm sure you are, a TriStar L120. He says it's an exact copy of a CC.
Okay.
Tell me the differences between those, and should I just go ahead and pay the money, get the Glock, and the difference between the Gen 3 and the Gen 4 Glock, please?
Okay, we got about 6 questions there, and I can probably only handle one of them, but let me see what I can do here. Let me see what I can do. A copy of I'm not familiar with the TriStar version, but a CZ is a very different pistol. If it's like the CZ75, it's not the same type of pistol as a Glock or the Smith & Wesson, which are striker-fired polymer pistols. So it's very different, got a different kind of trigger pull. I would be, I got to tell you, I'm not sure I'd buy a gun if I couldn't pull the trigger. I'd have to go somewhere else. That's just me. Trigger is so important. If they wouldn't let me try the trigger, I'd say thank you very much for your time. I'll go somewhere else. If I had to pay $50 more, I would pay $50 more to go to a store that would let me pull the trigger and try it before I buy it. Having said that, if you're interested in the Glock, then that takes you into a price point where a lot of things open up. And I wouldn't want you to walk in there and think, okay, there's only Glocks here. And look, Glocks are great pistols. But at that level, you also are looking at the guns from Ruger, from Smith & Wesson, the M&P series, from Springfield Armory, the XD/XDM series, and a bunch of others out there. So if you say, okay, I'm going to be open to spending, what's the Glock going to run you, $500, $600?
$550 probably.
There you go. At that level, I would go back in the store and say, show me what you got at the same price point as the Glock. I want to look at them, and more importantly, I want to put them in my hand. I want to feel them. Some people love the feel of a Glock. Some people find them a little blocky, a little bit too fat, and they gravitate to slimmer grips. Walther has a really slim grip on their semi-automatic pistols. Walther makes some really good stuff. XDMs from Springfield, the Smith & Wesson M&P. A sleeper out there that I don't hear people talk about a lot, but they should, is the Ruger SR9 series. Wonderful pistols. I just bought one of those. I mean, like I need another gun, right? But I just bought one because I like them so much. So I guess that's where I would leave you is, if you're open to spending that much money, you're going to get, frankly, the more you spend, generally speaking, the better the gun. Take a look at everything that's out there. SIGs, Glocks, Smiths, Springfields, Tauruses, everybody's, Colts. See what you can find in your price point, and then pick the one you like. But I got to tell you, I wouldn't buy a gun if I couldn't pull the trigger. That's just my takeaway on it. And I appreciate the call, sir. Thank you, Tom. Let's see here. Line 1, Brian is in Virginia. Hey, Brian.
Tom, hello.
Hey, sir. How can we help you?
Well, Tom, I'm calling today because I'm active duty military and I move around a lot. And before I left my last duty station, I had ordered a couple of guns from a manufacturer, and they didn't come in before I left. Okay. And I moved to a state now, which is like most of them, that says, hey, if you got orders assigning you to a state, you're considered a resident and you can make legal purchases. Unfortunately, I'm in Virginia and I work in D.C. My orders assign me to D.C. So therefore, I'm in a kind of a unique legal area, if you will. My question to you isn't necessarily the legal piece and how to navigate that. My question is there an organization out there that I can call somebody, talk to them, and help me navigate this completely on the up and up and trying to do the right thing to where I can lawfully get, my purchases or my guns that I've ordered.
Okay, you live in Virginia.
I'm an NRA member, Lifetime NRA, Lifetime Second Amendment Foundation, and those came to my mind, at first, but
let me ask you. Hey, Brian, you live in Virginia, right?
Yes.
Okay. Where did you order the guns, and why can't you have them shipped to a gun store in Virginia?
Well, because technically I'm not a Virginia resident under Virginia law, because my orders aren't assigning me to Virginia. They're assigning me to the District of Columbia.
Do you pay taxes in Virginia? Do you have a home?
I do not.
You do live in Virginia?
I do live in Virginia, yes.
Do you have a utility bill from Virginia?
I do. And I know I've gone down that road, too, where I thought, well, hey, I've been here 6 months now. I've got proof of residency in terms of bills, and I'm not finding gun dealers that are supporting that. They're like, no, you're not a resident under our law.
Where's your driver's license from? Do you have a Virginia driver's license?
I do not.
Why
and that
not?
was one of the things they said, is that, hey, you can, get a Virginia license and this won't be a problem.
That's what I would do.
That's kind of the stuff, like I said, I wasn't necessarily, looking for you to help me navigate the legalities of it, but I just didn't know if there's an organization I could talk to that.
No, you know
could
what?
help me do it.
I can do it better than they can. Just as simple as that. Really, this is that easy. Get a Virginia driver's license, and you're done. And you could get a Virginia driver's license on the basis of you living in the state and paying utility bills there. You're done, and make the problem go away. Check the right box, even if you think it's stupid, and we often do, and get your guns. That's what I would do. I mean, as far as a group, frankly and unfortunately, a lot of groups, national groups, are more attuned to working on big things and don't have somebody who can help you on an individual level. So I wish you luck with it, but man, that's what I would do. I would go get myself a Virginia driver's license. Simple. 866-TALK-GUNS, 866-TALK-GUNS.
When your front door gets kicked in, the gun in the bedroom may be too far away. A wall safe from Console Vault keeps your gun secure and out of sight, but ready. Visit CONSOLEvault.com.
You know the name Walther is a legendary brand, but do you know the new Walther? The new Walther has introduced 3 new precision handguns. The smooth PPQ M2 is a breakthrough in ergonomics and trigger pull. The tough PPX is a workhorse at a value price. The cool, iconic PPK S22 blends classic PPK with the fun of the economical 22 LR. There is a lot going on at the new Walther. Visit us at WaltherArms.com. Walther, at your favorite retailer.
What do LaserMax customers say about LaserMax lasers?
I'm alive because of your company. I was robbed at gunpoint. 2 of my 3 shots hit their intended target, and I was able to remove the threat. I made it home to my wife alive.
For shooting accuracy and training, it's a life-saving tool critical to any firearm.
I trust your products with my life. Thank you.
To learn more about LaserMax, go to lasermax.com. That's LaserMax.com. LaserMax.
Are you looking for a place to shoot? The National Shooting Sports Foundation has a great website called wheretoshoot.org. It's the largest database of shooting ranges on the internet. It's also a great resource for shooters where you can find video tips, printable targets, and a lot more. Find it online at wheretoshoot.org. And while you're there, download their free iPhone app. That's wheretoshoot.org.
Who will you trust with your guns and valuables? Liberty safes are the best built and most secure safes on the planet. They sell more gun safes than any other brand. It's about trust earned through performance. If your Liberty safe is damaged by fire or attempted break-in, they'll send a new safe right to your home. Protection from thieves and fire. Trust the #1 maker of quality gun safes. LibertySafe.com.
Traveling with your handgun? The gun transporter from Console Vault protects your gun with plate steel, high security lock, and retractable tether cable. Accessible but secure. Visit CONSOLEvault.com.
Want your opinion to make a difference? Log on to our website and take the Gun Talk poll, www.guntalk.com. Now, back to Tom.
All right, welcome back to Gun Talk. By the way, if you want more information about what's going on with microstamping and all of that, you can go to our website, guntalk.com. You can check out the releases there. If you want to just stay informed generally on this, two ways. I do like a gazillion tweets if you don't want, and they're like a news feed, really. And you can ignore them if you want to. I mean, they're only 120 characters. But you can follow me on Twitter. It's @GunTalk on Twitter. And I send out a lot of links to news stories about guns and gun rights. And so if you want to stay informed with what's going on, that's a really good way. And of course, the other is to sign up for the Truth Squad, the Gun Talk Truth Squad. You can do that on our website also, guntalk.com. And we'll send out a newsletter once a month, roughly. And, you can always unsubscribe. We do not sell your name. We do not give it away. If you sign up for the Truth Squad, it stays with us. Now, if you sign up for, I should explain this. If you sign up for one of the contests, like the Springfield Armory giveaway or the XDS giveaway, that information, of course, goes to that company, but nowhere else. But we don't give that away. But if you just sign up for the Truth Squad, that's a different deal. We don't give that information at all. So just to let you know, 866-TALK-GUN will get you in here. Let's see, Kelly is on line 3 in Texas. Hey, Kelly.
Hey, Tom. How are you?
Good. You were looking at that Remington R51?
Yes, sir. I read the Guns and Ammo article on it, and I just wanted your opinion on it.
I've not shot it yet. We're waiting for, we got a couple of them coming in, but I've handled it. It feels really good. It's got a weird trigger that I think I could get used to, but it's just different. There is essentially no reset on it. It feels good when you pull it, but when you're letting off on it, trying to feel the reset, there's no physical reset that I could find. And they said, yeah, we understand that, but it's a cool looking gun, and I think it's going to be really popular. So, I mean, if you're looking for kind of a not tiny 380, but more like a subcompact 380, this is one that I would say you ought to look at. And this category is going to grow. SIG has one now. Glock brought out a subcompact 380, again, bigger than the LCP from Ruger, so that you can get your hands around and you can shoot it. What's your interest in the R51? Why does it grab your attention?
Well, I read the article. It's interesting design that it actually came out in World War I. This is a throwback for Remington.
Oh, it is, absolutely.
Yeah, but it's actually chambered in a 9 Luger, 9+P, and they're going to eventually bring out a 40 Smith & Wesson model.
Well, yep. So
a little bit bigger bang for your buck, because up until I saw that, I've been a big revolver fan. Okay. But my problem with the 38 Special is that I haven't shot a +P because I'm a budget armory type of guy. I've actually got a Smith & Wesson Victory model that probably belongs on the shelf, but it's what I've been using.
You think?
And,
yeah.
The 38 Special just won't. It drops too early for my liking.
Okay. Well, I think probably what you need to do is wait till a store has them, and their store should be getting these in pretty quickly. Go put your hands on it, see what you think, and just take a look at it. So, but I mean, the accessory makers are already busy. Crossbreed Holsters has holsters for it. Other holster makers have holsters. Looks like Crimson Trace has a laser guard for it. So there's a lot available already for helping this become a good concealed carry gun. All right, I appreciate that, and I wish you luck with it. I think it's the thing you need to do is to find it at a store. I mean, that's what I would do. I would want to go put my hands on it. And I was able to muscle my way into the Remington booth at the SHOT Show. It was busy. Everybody wanted to see the R51. It is a throwback. It's World War I type design. It looks like a Jetsons kind of gun, like futuristic from the 30s or something. It's different looking. But they put some modern features on it, and it's... I think it's going to be popular. The other thing is, Remington tells me this is just their set, because they had the 1911 already, the second of what they consider to be a plan for a lot of handguns. Remington is planning on bringing out a lot of handguns. So we're going to see. They want to be a major player in that space. 866-TALK-GUN, 866-TALK-GUN.
You don't have to agree with Tom to participate in the show. Call now with any of your concerns about guns, gun rights, or particular firearms, or suggestions for your shooting activity or personal protection. 1-866-825-5486. Gun Talk is coming right back.
All right, back with the 866 Talk Gun. We'll get you in here. Let's go to Craig, line 2. He's in Georgia. Hey, Craig, you're up.
It's like a federal offense.
Hey, Craig, you there?
It's Eddie.
It says Eddie? I don't know who Eddie is. Go ahead, Eddie.
Yeah, Tom, I was wondering, you was talking last week, I heard you talking about, is a federal law against a police officer taking your gun away from you if you have your permit and all that?
I didn't say no. Stop. I never said anything like that. I don't know where you heard that.
Okay, well, there's I don't want to confuse you. I think you said something you didn't say, but what it was is 1984 color law or something like that?
Yeah, 1983 is the code. It is deprivation of rights under color of law, but I didn't say that it's against the law for him to take your gun while you're carrying a permit. Never said that. I don't want that to get out.
I don't want to say you said anything that you didn't say.
Okay. How can I help you?
But that's what I wanted to know. I wanted to know, and the number is 183, and it's called what again?
It's called 40. It's U.S. Law 42, Code 1983. And you look it up, or you can just Google up deprivation of rights under color of law, and you'll see the law there and what it means, and you can get a lot of information on it. It's something that we should be aware of because there are times when law enforcement folks do things that they're not supposed to. They make up stuff. They make up laws. They intimidate people. And look, all you got to do is go to YouTube. You can see the videos of it happening. So it's just a tool in your toolbox to have ready for you. Listen, I've got to scoot over to Miles. He's been on hold for a while. He's on line 1. Hey, Miles, talk to me. You got about a minute, so fill me in on this test report you got.
Yes. They're selling these arm braces for AK and AR-15 pistols.
Right.
And got one a while ago, finally took it out shooting. And it certainly makes the gun a lot more stable, and when it's actually used as an arm brace, I almost feel like half man, half gun. But the one I got, the tangs were too long for the attachment points, and it interfered with the trigger reset, which I imagine that would cause problems. I figure you could probably fix it by grinding down the tangs a little bit so it wouldn't interfere with the trigger, but what I wound up doing was I just put a 50-cent piece in the thing to shorten it up a bit.
Just put a spacer in.
Yeah.
So that works. And where these are really going to be popular, I think, and a SIG brought one out, is that there are people who are disabled who only have the use of one arm, and they could use the brace on this to shoot an AR pistol. It's going to kind of work like a rifle. What do you think about that idea?
Well, yeah, it certainly does make it more accurate when you use it in a couple of different modes, but one of the other things I was a little bit concerned about is a friend of mine, though he didn't cite any actual incidences, has said that even though these come with an ATF approval letter, that the ATF has been busting people for using these things.
I keep hearing that, and I have not been able to run it down at all. I actually asked SIG about it, and they said, no, we haven't seen anything like that. So, but yeah, there is a letter that comes with a lot of these that says it's ATF approved. So if I get any more information about anybody getting busted for having this, I'll put it out there. And if somebody knows of that, not just a rumor, but knows that it happened to a friend of yours, then give me a holler, let me know about it. All right, here's a question for you. Which type of law enforcement officer deals with armed people more than any other? Just a question for you to ponder. What type of law enforcement officer has, certainly at certain times of the year, a high probability that almost everybody he or she deals with is going to be carrying a gun? Yeah, you're probably figured it out. Hey, when we come back, we're going to be talking with exactly that. Somebody who has spent a lifetime out there dealing with the good guys and the bad guys. Law enforcement coming up right here on Gun Talk.
No black helicopters here, just the facts about gun rights and gun ownership. This is Gun Talk.